Welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Rick Utze from Maranatha Community Fellowship in Plain City, Ohio. Those of you who viewed this broadcast last week know that recently I went to Uganda, and one of the things I did there was I went on a safari. So I'm going to share one more story with you about the events that happened on that safari. And so when we went to this camp where the park is, where we went on the safari, they told us when we got to the camp that at nighttime, when it gets dark, that we need to be careful and to be watching out for hippos that go around the camp, around the tents that we were to sleep in. And so I'm kind of like thinking about that, thinking, I've heard that hippos are like the most dangerous animal in Africa. Like, they kill more people than lions do. So as I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking, how safe is this going to be? And will we really see any? Maybe this is just a once in a blue moon type of thing. Well, sure enough, we ate dinner at the main open air campsite. And when I went to go back to my tent to get something, I noticed that there was a hippopotamus right outside the tent. And they told us, you need to take flashlights, you need to look, you need to be careful. When you're getting out of your tent, look around to see if there's a hippo nearby. And sure enough, there he was, munching on grass. You can hear the things just grab the grass, pull it out, and chew on it. And so as I was thinking about that, it's like you don't want to get too close to a hippo in the dark. You know, during the day they're in the water, you can't really get a good picture of them, but at night that's when they come out and they graze, and I would have loved to have got a picture of a hippo, because most people don't believe that you're really that close to a hippopotamus. But they said if you take a flash picture of them, it may agitate them, and the last thing you want to do is agitate a hippopotamus. And I did not want to make the news as a person who's dying or caused a stampede and people getting hurt. So I actually paid attention to what they said and did not take a photo. But anyway, as I was thinking about all that, I had to think about, especially this Christmas time, about Jesus Christ coming down to earth. And one of the things it says about Jesus is that he's the light of the world. And it says in John 3, if I read verses 19 to 21, it says, "And this is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people love the darkness rather than the light, because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his work should be exposed. But whoever does what is true comes to the light, so that it may be clearly seen that his works have been carried out in God." So, you know, as we think about that, it says there's some people who just love darkness. They want to wallow in the darkness. They want to be in the darkness. That's what they want. And as I was thinking about, darkness represents evil and wickedness and not obeying God, whereas light truly exposes the truth. It exposes what God wants us to do. And it says that we should come to the light so that our works can be clearly seen that they're carried out in God. And so we as Christians, as followers of Jesus, want to follow him and walk in the light. And we want our deeds to be exposed because we're doing what pleases him. It says in Ephesians 5, 7 to 10, it also talks about light and darkness. It says, "Therefore do not become partakers with them. For at one time you were darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of light is found in all that is good and right and true. And try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord." You know, it says, walk as children of light. Don't become partakers with them. Sometimes we think, you know, those people who walk in darkness and flirt along the edges of the light are cool. And they're bold and they're courageous, but they're not. God's people who are bold and courageous walk and follow Jesus, walk in the light, aren't afraid to stand up for Jesus and his ways. And so here's the bottom line. You know, nobody wants to hug a hippo. I mean, there is no way you wanted to get close enough to touch a hippo. They said, keep your distance, be careful, discern when there's a hippo by using a flashlight, by using your light. And that's what God wants us to do. Jesus Christ exposes those things that are darkness, and we're supposed to run from them. We're supposed to let the light take over our lives. So let's walk with Jesus Christ and be exposed to the light. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Bottom Line.